Hey guys, just checking in. I've been working storm trouble since Friday. So for those of you who didn't catch my last video, I'm actually working for a company I worked for a few years ago. Worked on and off for them over the last 10 years now. They're kind of where I cut my teeth and really learned how to work. And I'm back here for now at least. And it's a utility company, so we're contractors who work for the utilities. They hire us out to basically do the stuff that they don't have equipment for, if that's like off-road or ledge, poles, or just weird stuff that they can't handle with the equipment they have. And then they also hire us out when we have a storm. So we had a storm that hit Friday and wiped about 40,000 people out of power. So I've just been working for the last few days now. They put us to bed at night in a hotel, so we slept Friday night and last night, and we're still working today, still putting power back on. Last I looked, we had like around 10,000 people out of power still. So it's toward the end of the storm. The storm really hit Friday and subsided like Friday night. So there aren't a lot of new outages, except for some that there was a lot of snow sitting on the trees and some of them fell later and added more outages. But also like lesser known places with power outages, they trickle in throughout the following days. So eventually all the outages are realized. So initially you put back the big lines with like thousands of people. So you fix those first. And then, toward the end of the storm is typically where you end up where we are. So I'm on a back road and I just put the primary wire back up on a pole. It's dead and grounded. But right now we got another company that's over here and they're down the road there. They're putting a new pole in. That pole broke and they've hit ledge. So that's what you hear in the background. They got a jackhammer. They're trying to break the ledge up so they can get the pole in the ground. And then I'm over here just waiting till they get that pole in, and then the wire that's on the ground, we're just gonna pick it back up, put it on that new pole, and then string it to the dead end pole right beyond there, and then put the power back on. I'm working with my brother, which is kind of cool. My youngest brother and my younger brother also work here. Both of my brothers, all three of us worked here together from 2016 to the end of 2019, and my brothers have stayed here since I moved out west and did trucking, and they're still here. They're both foremen on bucket trucks. So I really like the storm trouble work. It's fun. You make a ton of money. I mean, when things really kick off, you can make a week's pay in a day. So it's really worth it, but people really want their power back on. It's kind of funny. Obviously, I'm a libertarian. The biggest libertarian principle I've had struggles with, or I don't know about the biggest, but one of the biggest was eminent domain, because you deal with so many assholes who want power and they want it as fast as they can get it, but they also don't want you to cut down their tree, and they also don't want you driving on their lawn. They also don't want you walking over to check the meter because you're on their property. And this is one of those things where it's like, look, if you want the luxury, because electricity is a luxury, it's not a right. If you want the luxury of power, then you've got to be willing to make accommodations in order to get it. And, I used to set poles here. That's mostly what I did. And you'd have to have the poles in line. And then they also had to be a certain distance from the road. And then obviously couldn't set them like through a gas line or a sewer line. And then you had all the customers all upset about ruining their flower garden or putting it in their grass or whatever. And so basically, believe in property rights, but if you want electricity, you have to make accommodations to get it. That's just how it is. So if you have people working storm and you want your power back on, you basically just have to let them do what they got to do to get it back on. And then even when there's not a storm, if there's a tree that you really don't want them to cut down, you might want to think about how much you want your power to stay on throughout a storm, because if you're going to eventually win that battle, probably they're not going to be able to cut your tree down. But then if that tree falls on the power lines or a branch lands on, then it's going to be a lot longer before you get the power turned back on. But I was supposed to do a couple episodes yesterday, one with Adam Green. We've had to reschedule that, obviously, because I've been working all day and then just getting 8 hours of sleep at night in a hotel. And then I was supposed to do something with Pug today, which I'm not going to get to either. I have a feeling we'll be working all the way through today, and then they might keep us overnight, and maybe we'll get done tomorrow. I'm not really sure. But this part of the storm drags out because it's all the, just the 2 or 3 people who are out on a road that's a mile out in the woods, and there's a broken pole in the middle of a swamp. Like, all those get taken care of last typically, so a lot of that could be coming down the pipe. But just wanted to check in, let you guys know what's going on. Yeah, as always, take care of each other, take care of yourselves.